Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to the United Stand. This is your Friday night show. I hope you're ready. Latest Manchester United news as the Glazers and Sir Jim face a potential legal fight to get hold of Manchester United if they want to work together. Qatar and the plot thickens with the PSG involvement. There's been some suggestion that this is a month old. We've now got breaking news that it's not a month old at all, and this could put Qatar back in front for Manchester United with their final bid feared to be significantly high and blowing Sir Jim potentially out of the water. Lots to get into. Redden, welcome to the Members Club. Also, welcome to Philip Stanley. We've got absolutely loads going on, and I think we're actually going to get news breaking while we're live. This is not the normal Friday night sit back and have a Q&A. This is going to be fast-paced. Potential legal fights from the shareholders of Manchester United. What are PSG's involvement in this purchase of Manchester United? Who's actually winning this race at the moment? We're going to fly in all to this. And also, just a bit of breaking news as well. James is just gifted 5 United Stand memberships. But apparently, PSG are now the favourites to get Kim Min-jae. Well, if PSG are the favourites to get Kim Min-jae, Qatar, does that mean Sir Jim's going to get Man United and that's just a bit of revenge? I don't know. It's all going on. Absolutely farce, says Oliver. It's a farce. Mike, welcome to Members Club. And also welcome to Bama, who's a member as well, and BN as well. I'm probably not going to get to shout out all the members because I'm going to gift out some memberships in a moment. But just suffice to say, on the members section, our tour show from United Stand in Dublin on Tuesday night is now live in the members section. Here's a little bit of a clip of it.
But that 7-0, I just cannot comprehend it, right? Even when they beat us 7-0, they were never going to get in the Champions League. They were never going to win anything. They print bloody mugs off. I just can't believe it. This is literally like, I'm going to think of something here. This is literally like laughing at your neighbour because his wife's having an affair while your missus is doing a gangbang on YouTube at home. It just doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense to me.
There we go, a little bit of a clip of the Dublin show. It's up on the members section, part 1, because it's a 2-hour show. Check it out on the members section if you want to. Lots of people have watched it already, giving it really good feedback. Check it out. I feel that, we've got a super chat here from John. He says, I feel that the story about the PSG president is just a way to distract us from the fact that there's been no concrete decision from the Glazers despite the deadline being today. It's looking like the Glazers won't sell, says John. And also, please don't give me hope, says Awild. EJ says, bring on Qatar and let the rat go. Well, look, let's fly straight into the latest breaking news around this. This is coming from James Ducker in The Telegraph. Now, since I did my video at 4 o'clock, remember, as a recap, the Goldbridge recap, at 4 o'clock today I did a video because it had come out from David Ornstein that the PSG president, Nasser Al-Khalifi, had been involved or asked to be involved by the Glazers to, speak to Sheikh Jassim Al Thani to get him to do a bigger bid. This came in from David Ornstein. Then Simon Stone in the BBC said that this news was a month old. I tweeted, as did a couple of other people quite rightly, David Ornstein is not going to put an exclusive out about something that happened a month ago. Well, this is what James Ducker has had to say. Al-Khalifi, the PSG president, actually declined to get involved with Manchester United's owners, the Glazers, suggestion a month ago that he might be able to help as a middleman. Multiple sources maintain the PSG owner has no official or unofficial role in the process and offered no input on how much the Qatari group should pay for Manchester United. However, they go on to say that Sheikh Jassim has just sought Al-Khalifi's private opinion on the proposed Man United takeover. I don't know what that means. Apparently he's done it. But to ward off suggestions that a Qatari takeover could breach multi-club ownership rules in the Champions League, the Sheikh Jassim camp has consistently underlined its offer from private funding unrelated to Qatar Sports Investment Group, which owns PSG. As of last week, the Glazers were undecided on various contenders, although talks with Ratcliffe have been encouraging. He is willing to buy around half of the B shares. There has been no guarantee from the Glazers inner circle that they are ready to declare him the preferred bidder. So that's all coming in from The Telegraph. And look, I feel that I said it this afternoon, I'll say it again. I feel it's a significant update that there is this mention of PSG. Whether it is scaremongering or shit stirring or whatever, I just feel that this is a significant development. And also, there's one line from Laurie Whitwell in The Athletic where he said that the Glazers still seen as favourites, but the fifth bid from Qatar is deemed to be very significant, or words to that effect. So it does feel, whatever's going to happen, it feels that in the last 24 hours, the momentum has shifted slightly towards Qatar again. Whereas, as I've said, and many of you've seen, over the last few weeks, it's felt like it's very much Sir Jim. It feels like there's been a significant swing towards Qatar. That doesn't mean they're going to get hold of the club, but it does feel like that. Why would the Glazers want the PSG president to act as a middleman? Because they want more money. Has more money now been offered? Is there a deal that can be done with Qatar? Are the Glazers waking up to the fact that they're basically screwing themselves if they stay and they mess around with Qatar? Qatar are very powerful. They're richer than the Glazers. They can take every transfer target we want for the next 5 years. Take the story about Kim Min-jae. He is now heavily linked to PSG. Man United were the favourites. Is that a warning to the Glazers that if you do a business with Sir Jim and you fuck us over, watch what we do to you over the next few years? Every deal you want, PSG will be there. We will make your life very, very difficult. Maybe it's a warning. I don't know. But there ain't no way Kim Min-jae is going to PSG if Qatar are buying Manchester United. So, look, it's very interesting. It's always been interesting. But I know a lot of people are losing interest. But I'm fascinated by this PSG development. I mean, look, the story is that apparently Nasser Al-Khelaifi doesn't want to get involved. But the Glazers wanted him to get involved. Just listening to Sky Sports now and have stated that Sheikh Jassim's bid is $5 billion, which is $1 billion less than what the Glazers want, says So Sports News. CGA, welcome to the Members Club. Jim's meant to be a clever man. What part of this sale process makes him believe the Glazers are good working partners, says Wayne. It's just Adrian, thank you very much. Welcome to the Members Club. Rory says, I'm fuming. This process has been a mess and there's nothing from ex-players about it. It's only fans that seem to be voicing it. They must be involved, says Rory. And Sue, welcome to the Members Club. I'm telling you now, from what I've been told by numerous sources, ex-players won't say anything because they're trying to make their bed with it, whoever it is. If it's Sir Jim, they want to get in with Sir Jim. If it's Qatar, they want to get in with Qatar. And I've been told that by numerous people in the industry, influential people. Ex-players will not say anything about this one way or the other because if they nail their flag to the Qatari mast, they piss off Sir Jim. If they nail their mast to the Sir Jim, they might piss off the Qataris. They are... I mean, a lot of our ex-players now are business people, aren't they? They go where the money is. And I think that's what they're doing. The streets won't forget that, will they? They're basically just waiting to go to the highest bidder. There's not really been any significant statement. I mean, they'll tell you how bad De Gea is in goal. You know, they'll tell you how bad Bruno is. They'll make up shit about that, but they won't tell you what they think about the future of Manchester United that they supposedly care about because they care about this. They care about their pocket. My first super chat, you're a legend, Mark. And meanwhile, Sir Jim is selling players to Liverpool, says Anthony. And last super chat was on the charity fundraiser after my diagnosis. Now sitting here cancer-free, raising one to the community. That's great news, Jimmy. I remember that, and I'm sure a lot of people in the do chat as well. Great news, Jimmy. Thank you very much for keeping us informed. Bradley, welcome to the Members Club. And also, if PSG are such a concern, then what happened to Nice? I don't understand this Sir Jim Radcliffe loving, says Average Joe. Oh, you know what, mate? It's incredible. The fact that this PSG story's come up and, you know what? I can't move on social media for the amount of Sir Jim fanboys who want Sir Jim and they're coming up with stuff like, and people were trying to tell us that it's not state-run. I've always told you it's state-run. What have I always said? I've always said that I believe that Sheikh Jassim's bid is ultimately backed by Qatar. It's never been a problem for me. And yet you've got people today going, and people were saying it's not state-backed. Don't think anyone gives a shit, to be honest. I genuinely don't think I don't give a shit. I do not give a shit. That's just a technicality. The only reason they're not saying it's from Qatar is because of PSG. But I think we all suspect that there might be something going on there. So bloody what? Nice is owned by Sir Jim. I don't give a shit. I genuinely don't care if it's Sheikh Jassim the individual or if it's Sheikh Jassim the front man for the money from Qatar. I don't care. What does it matter? I couldn't give two shits. And you've got people on Twitter going, and they were trying to say it wasn't. I don't care if it was. I'm not bothered. Abu Dhabi state-owned, Saudi Arabia state-owned. The only reason we can't be state-owned is because they own PSG, that's all. Couldn't give a toss. Absolutely couldn't give... I know what Qatar is. I know what Abu Dhabi is. I know what Saudi Arabia is. It's the only horse in the race that wants to buy the whole club and is a billionaire. I'll take that over what the alternative is. What was the joke you had to edit out of the Dublin show? Also, what did that bloke say in the front row, says Joe? Well, I'm not answering stuff like that, Joe. Come on, it's a Friday night. Darren Good, welcome to Members Club. He's gifted 5 memberships, actually, Darren. And Yash has gifted a membership. And Clements says, Mark, I really hope the Glazers sell and get out of our club. Qatar in, says Clements. And love the show, Mark, says James Carroll. So, where we are at the moment on the Qatar side of things is that this PSG story has come through that the PSG president, Nasser Al-Khalifi, had been approached by the Glazers to act as a middleman for them to get a better bid out of Sheikh Jassim. So the Glazers getting somebody to actually initiate more bids. Apparently the president said no. However, it's interesting that this is coming out now. Apparently the 5th bid from Sheikh Jassim is very significant. And that's been reported by numerous credible sources. So that's where we are. Developments from the Qatari side have been quite progressive in the last few hours. Where are we with Sajim? Well, interestingly, with Sajim, Psycho, welcome to Members Club, it's not looking so good for Sajim. There was a rumour mill story at lunchtime that the hedge funds that are involved in the shareholders... Look, Manchester United is owned 69% by the Glazers. 31% is owned by various shareholders, the majority of which are hedge funds. You know, they're basically investment groups. And they own 31% of Manchester United. And they own the... Somebody in the chat will let me know. What's the powerful one? The Class B shares, I think, are the Glazer shares that have 10-1 voting right compared to the Class A shares. Is that right? The shareholders... Speedy wants more cooking with Goldbridge. We'll see what we can do. The shareholders who own 31%, they own the Class A shares. So basically, why has everyone jumped on the bandwagon about PSG but nothing about Nice, says John. This is so frustrating. I just had to explain who the Glazers are and what a wanker is to my 7-year-old, says Ben. Omar says, Mark, I am sure a lot of the pro-Sir Jim folks in the media are probably being paid by Sir Jim to push pro-Jim anti-Qatar content. Omar, thank you. Davs83 and Immortal, welcome to Members Club. So I'm correct on the shares. The Glazers own... This is really important. Listen to this because this is quite a significant update. This is what the title is about, legal fight. So we've spoken about Qatar there. Where are we with Sir Jim? And actually, Niloy's just done a super chat saying, Mark, is it true that the Class B shareholders will go against the Glazers in the Cayman Court if Sir Jim Radcliffe takeovers the club? So this is what we're talking about, Niloy. So Class A shares are owned by the shareholders, 31%. They have very low voting rights. Class B shares are owned by the Glazers, 69%. So Jim Radcliffe is buying Class B shares. He's not buying the Class A shares. So there's this story going round that the shareholders who own the Class A shares are saying, hold on a minute, so Jim Radcliffe is taking hold of the club, but he's doing it by buying the Class B shares. Where does that make us stand as shareholders of Manchester United when there's effectively a takeover but none of our shares are being bought? How does that work? And there could be a potential legal fight on that because ultimately those investment groups who own Manchester United are doing it for investment purposes. They want to see a return. When somebody is taking over the club, why are they not buying our shares? Why are they just getting to buy the Class B shares? And why is Sir Jim exclusively getting to buy the Class B shares when some of them investment groups might be saying, why can't we buy some as well? Why are the Glazers only selling them to them? So look, on a very basic level, it could just be a rumour. It could just be a rumour. But on the other hand, it exposes the intricacies and potential pitfalls of this deal that Sir Jim is trying to do. It's messy. And it ain't Lionel messy. Because 31% is owned by investment groups, 69% is owned by the Glazers, and Sir Jim is only going to buy the 69% shares. He's not going to buy the other ones. I mean, we already know it's going to have 3 cooks anyway, the shareholders, Glazers and Sir Jim. There could be problems. There could be legal wranglings. More delay. And at some point, do the Glazers just go, actually, we should just bloody sell this club because it's a mess? Who knows? If Qatar really wanted United, they would pay $6 billion at this rate, says Jack. It's just getting frustrating. I don't think, Jack, and I think it's so wrong to put any blame on Qatar. You know, that's like you saying, you know, that's like asking yourself if you want a car to pay double the value just to get it. Why should you? Why should you pay stupid money to idiots? Why should you do it? It's not the Glazers' fault. It's not Al Thani's fault. This looks like a huge turning point in the sale process, Mark. Sheikh Jazim bid is now looking more likely to win. Fingers and toes crossed, says Vincent. Well, we've had our fingers burnt and our toes burnt a few times there. Sebastian, welcome to the Members Club. I won't get my hopes up, but there is significant movement today. It's probably not the movement we were expecting. We were talking about this deadline, weren't we? But good journalists like David Ornstein and James Ducker and Simon Stone talking about this PSG angle, I think it's interesting. Milk the cow to make the cash bids bigger, sponsored by Glazerscape. Thanks to all you do, Mark, says Sig. Welcome to the Members Club, Osvaldo. So yeah, look, I mean, opinions, what it's all about. Qatar's been speaking to shareholders, offering them a deal, says James. JPB Gamer, thank you. Well, look, I don't want to turn this into the Financial Times, but ultimately, Qatar, Al Thani, are going to buy all of the Class B shares from the Glazers and all of the Class A shares from the shareholders. So everybody wins. Everybody wins. With Sajim, I don't want to talk to you about your Class A shares. I only want to buy some of the Class B shares from the Glazers. It's a mess. It's a mess. And this is why, if Sir Jim Radcliffe is buying Manchester United, he should buy the fucking lot. I don't, for me, it was, I never really had a massive preference between Sir Jim and Al Thani. I was worried when Sir Jim wasn't paying off the debts and was taking on debt to buy the club through Ineos. But at least he was buying the whole club. His bid has just got worse and worse and worse. It was all of the club, but keep the debt. Then it was 70% of the club, but keep the debt and keep some of the Glazers. And now it's less than half the club, keep the debt, take on debt, and keep the Glazers. So, Sir Jim's sort of blown his parade a little bit himself, I think. Sean from Ireland says, great night in Dublin, even though I really was sitting at table 10. Please, God, Glazers out. Sounds like it's hard for Jim, thank God, says Sean. Yeah, if you know, table 10. They're the real legends of the show on Tuesday. Ali says, if the legal issues are true for the shareholders, then it makes more sense why Sheikh Jazim underlined the pledges. It makes all the shares equal in price, says Ali. And welcome to the Members Club, Rohit. So, yeah, look, that's where we're at the moment. In addition to that, I mean, talking about Dublin, I forgot to mention it on the show this morning. It's got nothing to do with the sale, but United are playing Atletico Bilbao on August the 6th in Dublin at the Aviva Stadium. So I might go over and do a show the night before again. We'll see. But I may do. We'll think about it. If it's 100% sale, the shareholders get the premium price per share, but if Jim buys the 50%, they'll get the share price, as Clinton. And Snake Glazers using Sir Jim to squeeze more out of the Qataris, and it's working. Full sale, debt is dumb, cash is king, says Kemel. Thank you very much. Lots of people watching tonight. Make sure you're watching all through the summer, because it's not just about sale, it's about transfers as well. Subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and get involved with the best community, the United Stand. What do I think's happening? We've had all the news there. It's a lot to get through on a Friday night, and there's a lot of speculation, and there's a lot of if, buts, and maybes. I do feel that there's been a significant shift towards Qatar, but I don't think it means Sir Jim's out of the race at all. What do I think's happening? I think the Glazers have been exposed for what they are. I said yesterday that I thought there was a scam going on. I thought that Sir Jim and the Glazers basically had been working on this for a while, and they'd never had any intention of selling the club. I actually think what we've heard in the last 24 hours has given us a little bit more information, and I would move my stance on that, because information is power. I don't think it's a scam between Sir Jim and the Glazers. I think it's a scam by the Glazers to play Sir Jim and Qatar. I mean, there is no reason to disagree with Simon Stone or James Ducker or David Ornstein that the Glazers approached the PSG president to use him as a middleman to get Qatar to increase their bid. Why would you approach the PSG president to get Al Thani to increase his bid if you weren't interested in selling? So clearly there is some interest in selling, but on the other hand, they're doing a deal with Sir Jim looking at how they could stay. This is the most indecisive, embarrassing sale of a football club we've seen since we were sold to the Glazers in the first place. This is not how a football club with the magnificence, heritage and name of Manchester United should be conducting itself publicly. It's an embarrassment. How can they walk into a sale process and think, we don't know whether we want to sell it all or stay? I mean, come on. You either want to sell or you don't want to sell. And it's very, very clear that they just don't know. On the one hand, they're trying to get the PSG president to negotiate a sale for them with Al Thani. And on the other hand, they're working with Sir Jim Ratcliffe to say no to Al Thani and actually stay. It's a mess. Now, of course, there are 5 or 6 siblings here who might have different theories, but it's just ridiculous. And they should have come into it with a better idea. Boss, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much. Andrew Wilson as well. Hi, Mark. Thanks for the photo outside Vicar Street. Me and Ricky had a great time drinking in Temple Bar, says the Phantom Master, with some new friends. Amazing night. I wish I'd been able to join you, the Phantom Master, but I think that fight in the pub sort of put me off and made me think it's good night. I think the Glazers used Sir Jim and they can't announce. It's funny, I came out of the Vicar Street Dublin show and Ricky came out very drunk, happy, and he says, there's a fight. It's all kicking off in the pub. I think the Glazers used Sir Jim. Apparently, he said Veghorst should have started up front in the FA Cup final. It all kicked off. I think the Glazers used Sir Jim, and they can't announce until paperwork is done because it would affect the share prices illegally, says Jamil. People have argued about the moral implications of Qatar's ownership, but who has been the most honest and transparent party during this sale process, says Stephen. Well, UEFA have now stated that if they don't sort out their affairs, then they will be punished and kicked out of the Champions League, says Slow Sports News. Who? Man United? I doubt it. I doubt that's been said about Manchester United. Surely not. Fabrizio Romano. Okay. Okay, I can't see anything there. Fabrizio Romano's just retweeted about Kim Min-jae. He's on their list since October and remains their main target. Release clause doesn't matter until July. I mean, look, on the Kim Min-jae story, PSG apparently want Kim Min-jae. Does that not feel like a bit of a coincidence to you that that's basically to do with Kim Min-jae, PSG, Qatar, Manchester United? Qatar want to buy us. You know, if you sell us, if you go to Sir Jim, we will buy Kim Min-jae. So, you know. Apparently Burnley have made an offer of around 13 million for Man United target Bart Verbruggen, who is the Anderlecht goalkeeper. So a lot of people felt that we might go for him, which is interesting. Anyway, that's a sort of an irrelevance. Let's come back to what we were talking about. So yeah, look, I don't. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Ricky Scott, thanks for joining the Members Club. One thing that's just reminded me of, I don't for 1 minute believe Sky Sports that the bid is 5 billion. I don't for 1 minute believe Jimmy Fancy Pants from The Athletic or Johnny Know-It-All from the BBC that they've offered 5.5 billion or 5.2 billion. I don't think anybody knows what's been offered. I really don't. I don't actually think people know what Sir Jim's offered. I don't believe that people know what that Al Thani's offered. He's made 5 bids. They can't all be the same. They've always got to be a little bit more. I don't think anybody knows what's been offered. And the reason I don't believe it is because most of the people reporting on what's being offered are transfer journalists, football journalists. Well, look at what's just happened with Alexi McAllister. It's 70 million, it's 60 million, it's 50 million. It's way less than 60 million. It's 40 million. It's actually 35 million. I don't believe that these reporters, with all due respect, have got a Scooby-Doo what the bid is from Al Thani. I don't think they've got a bloody clue. And I think they're speculating like it's a transfer story. You know, people are saying Sir Jim's valued the club at 5.5 billion. Wouldn't surprise me if he hasn't. So I think that that's an irrelevant. The bottom line is, where are we on the scale of 50-50? And I think we're back to 50-50 again. I think over the last couple of weeks, I've probably swayed towards Sir Jim. But I think we're back to 50-50 again. They're adult people and they're asking others to negotiate for them. It's embarrassing, says Shahin. Mark, if this legal fight is true and the Glazers want to stay, do you think there's any realistic possibility of the Glazers taking American investment instead, says Graham? There's always possibilities. People talking about Qatar and human rights, but it all for United playing in Texas, who are repealing women's basic human rights. Hypocrisy is rife, says Danny. Lucas Torres, welcome to the Members Club. Grant, welcome as well. You know it's war if PSG buy Frankie de Jong and Osman. Could there be a clue the fees United pay for players, whether they're all up front or structured, says Clarkey. Hi Mark, why on earth would Sir Jim want to keep the Glazers knowing that they ruin the club, says Arya? Because he wants the club. Mohammed, welcome to the Members Club. Look, Sir Jim Radcliffe, this is a vanity project for Sir Jim. I've said it so many times. What's a vanity project? It's when you think you're right and you want something more. That even though people are telling you you're doing it wrong, you believe you're doing it right. Sir Jim Radcliffe wants to own a football club. He wants to own Manchester United. And ultimately, he pretty much knows the only way he can get hold of this club is to do a deal with the Glazers. And he's gone, morally, I shouldn't do it, but this is the only chance in my one life I'm going to get hold of Manchester United, so I'd rather do it this way and try and make it work. And that's all he's doing. I hate the Glazer ownership, but I've always said, from a pure business point of view, it was a masterstroke. You buy a football club that makes loads of money on debt, you never pay a pound of your own money, and then you bleed it dry. Unfortunately, it was our club. If it had happened to Liverpool, it would be hilarious. But it happened to our club. And Sir Jim Radcliffe, I'm not saying as bad as Malcolm Glazer, but again, it's another guy who wants to get hold of this club for their own reasons and is probably ignoring what's best for the football club because they want to do what's best for them. It's a vanity project. He might make a fist of it. You know, he might actually make a success of it. But it's not what's best for the football club in the short term, and we all know that. He can't clear the debt straight away. He can't remove the Glazers straight away. So it's a delay to what could happen tomorrow. I think Qatar will pay $6 billion. An extra $500 million is nothing to Qatar. It's like £100 to me, says Dazzo. And a vanity project is somehow worse than a sports washing project for potential owners who killed thousands to build the world farce. Give me a break, says Cyber. A vanity project is somehow worse than a sports washing project for potential. Mate, you're entitled to your opinion. You're going to get absolutely slaughtered in the chat. So if you've got the Billy Big Bollocks to put your opinion out there, fair play. But expect to get some back. That's all I'm going to say. You're entitled to your opinion. That's absolutely fine. Right, the update I knew was coming has come in. We knew the Mike Keegan update was coming. I've got it hot off the press. This is what he's got to say. Always, every Friday night, this is what happens. So, here we go. I feel like Fabrizio Romano. Where is it? Why has he not tweeted about it? Why can't I see it? People in the chat are telling me all about it. The suspense is incredible. Anyone want to tell me? I can't see it. Comes back to the chat. So Jim Glazer 2.0. A masterstroke by Qatar, if they don't buy United, would be to buy all of United's targets and then snag Eric Ten Hag once he gets fed up with the owners, to Stephen Rossi. Why can't the FA intervene with the sale, seeing as the Glazers are incompetent? Would be easier and they can maybe warn them with penalties or something, says Ikshan. Welcome to the Members Club, Amit. I'm just waiting. It's a troll, by the way, I think. I don't think we've got it. Mike Keegan has been pretty good. Yeah, there's nothing out from Mike Keegan yet. I do think there will be something out from him tonight, though. I don't think that is. Do a test on it first. I don't think it's a fake report, but I think there will be something from him. I do. They'll get blocked. Don't worry, but there will be something from Mike Keegan because he normally does put something out on a Friday night. But what I would say is, what more could there be? Welcome to members, Kalia, and welcome, Adam. What more could we get, really? Ultimately, I still think it's massively significant, the PSG president story, because it shows that the Glazers do want to sell in some way. Yeah, I mean, somebody made a good point. What would you do if you were Sir Jim? Because, you know, he could be losing the battle now. If I was Sir Jim Radcliffe, I'd find a way to buy the whole fucking club. I mean, it's not that hard. The club's up for sale, buy the whole club. Otherwise, you're going to face a really big backlash. Dan Watson says, City to win the treble and then United announce a sale on the same weekend to overshadow the media reports. Sounds like something United would do. I've heard a few people say this, Dan. I've heard a few people say this, but it makes no sense. It's massive spin. Of course it's massive spin if City win the treble to say you've been bought by Qatar. Of course it is. And it would take over the news. But why does that benefit Man United or the Glazers? Like, they're the current owners. Why do they need massive spin? I think it would be absolutely incredible if City do win the treble, which I expect, and United announced they've been sold. But I don't think it makes any sense, really, because why do the Glazers care about when they announce that? I'm hoping to do surprise them tomorrow, Manny. I really do. I've got to do a watch along. Well, I haven't got to, but I will be doing a watch along. Mal, welcome to the Members Club. And Tom says, I've heard a couple of reports today that Sheikh Jassim's $6 million bid has been accepted. I think you've heard a couple of shits, Tom, to be honest. Glazers and Jim know we can stick top four fight indefinitely and the club's value will still rise long term. Fighting for first equals unnecessary risk, says the virtuoso. What you've got to be very, very careful about, Tom, and I'm not here to, go down that road that I used to years ago. I really couldn't be asked if people want to watch other channels or read other tweets. I think we've got the best. But there are a lot of fakers out there. Some of them have actually blocked me because they know I know. And they block a lot of other people because they know that they know what they are. There are fakers out there that have even, set up accounts in Middle Eastern languages to try and make themselves look credible. There are a few fakers out there, which is why I don't take any notice. This is not a transfer. I mean, they're faking. There's plenty of fakers out there for transfers, as if you are going to get the inside track on one of the biggest sales in sports history as an ITK. I know for a fact journalists, credible journalists with blue ticks who use their real name, I've spoken to them and they've said it's like getting blood from a stone. It's so hard to get information on this sale because they're all part of NDAs and there's all sorts of spin going on. And yet we're meant to believe that some prat on Twitter has got the inside track. Al-Thani's rang them up and sent him a WhatsApp, or Sir Jim has sent him an email telling them, we've not bothered telling the BBC or anyone else, we're just going to tell you. So I'd be very careful about rumours on Twitter because, unfortunately, because the Glazers have turned this into an uncertain circus again, it feeds the trolls, doesn't it? Patrick says, I think it's the other way around. City win the treble and United announce Radcliffe ownership. News will be overshadowed by the treble, says Patrick. The BT, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much for that. And what do you think is going to happen, Mark? I mean, look, there's always a great question like that with the United Stand community. And you know me, I won't hide away from it. Let's take some of your questions anyway. James Green, welcome to Members Club. I am going to give some memberships a little bit later because I do want a lot of you to be able to watch the United Stand tour show that we've uploaded on the members section, so I will be gifting some in a minute. But what do I think is going to happen, honestly, without sitting on the fence? God. Let's run a poll. But don't do it based on what you want. I know what you want. Do it based... Well, this will be a really good human experiment on people who are cynics like me or are optimists. What's going to happen? So don't vote with what you want to happen. Vote with what you think's going to happen. Because I don't care if I'm wrong on this. I absolutely don't care if I'm wrong on this. I can't jinx it. So... I still think if you push me, Sir Jim, and I'll tell you why, because his bid is the worst bid. Like, his bid should have been thrown out months ago. I've always thought it was a crap bid. He's not clearing the debts. He's not buying all of the club. There's going to be 3 owners. There's going to be the shareholders, the Glazers and him. I just think it's the worst bid by a long time, and yet they've always been confident. So that terrifies me. I'm like, how can such a crappy bid on paper be the favourite. And that is why I think that Sir Jim might win it. But I will admit, and I will confirm, that in the last sort of few hours, I think that it's moved back towards Qatar again. So maybe I'm, reverse psychology here. I do want it to be Qatar based on what we've got on paper there. And I think that raises a good point as well. A lot of people talk about, who's presented themselves the best through the media. From very early days, back in January, Al Thani's team announced that the debt will be cleared. There'll be huge funds available for the area, for the stadium, and for Erik ten Hag, and that they want to make Man United the best team in the world. And that's always been a very consistent message. And they got that message out there very, very, very clearly. The Sir Jim Ratcliffe bid has never bothered to put those sort of messages out. I spoke about it on the tour. I'm not going to mention it here because, I said a few things there. But the all we've heard from Sir Jim is the debt won't be cleared. And I don't know why people think it will. I hear a lot of Sir Jim fans saying he's going to take debt out, but Ineos is going to carry it. But he's never said he's clearing the debt. Man United are in $500 million of debt. That was never said that he was going to clear it. So the debt remains, the Glazers remain, and God knows what the plan is. So, excuse me if I would rather go with the bid that clears the debt and spends money over won't clear the debt and will keep the Glazers. I can't see why that is a good bet, is a good deal. And I don't even think about it as the Middle East against the British guy. I don't. Because I think the world is so diverse and there's money from the Middle East in every part of your life, in every part of the world. So I don't think this whole we don't want that money is ridiculous. You're probably eating that money right now. Your bank's probably being in a bank account that's owned by the Middle East. So that's just a silly thing. The reality is I don't look at who... I never did. I never did look at about where the money was coming from. I always looked at what was best for us as Man United fans. And somebody was going to buy all of the club and clear the debt and pump money into it. And somebody else wasn't going to clear the debt and was going to keep the Glazers here. And that's how I simplified it. I didn't need to look at pictures or where the money was coming from or the morality. I didn't need to look at that. What I needed to look at was Man City are going to win our treble tomorrow because they spent money and a lot of it. We're going to give that. We're giving that treble to them because over the last 10 years we failed under the Glazers, and they've been gradually getting closer and closer by the year, and now they're going to take it because they spent money. I just want Manchester United to be successful, and the best way for us to be successful is to be on a level playing field with those who are successful, and the best way to do that is to clear the debt and start spending money efficiently. Do you think Qatar could already be accepted and these days are all a ploy to promote Qatar? United fans love them already, or am I just hopeful, says Steg? I don't think you can read into it, Steg, to be honest. Louis, welcome to the Members Club. Although Sir Jim is crap at running a football club, one thing he is good at, unfortunately, is business and brokering a deal. That is why he's where he is, says Clarkey. Daniel White, welcome to the Members Club. Denise says, this is driving me nuts. It's literally irrelevant. Those owners have no say in a sale if Qatar buy the club and take it private, says Denise. And Mark, what do you think the time frame is until an official announcement? Since we've heard nothing, is Qatar really going to pull out, says Victor? It was a good question. It is a good question. I've got absolutely no idea when this deal will get announced. I've got absolutely no idea at all. Ewan, welcome to Members Club. I've got no idea, and I don't think anybody else has got any idea. And that's why I think the first couple of bids, I took an interest in what was being offered. I don't take any interest in what's being offered now because I don't think anybody knows what's happening. We could be another month away from a sale. We could be 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. We could be 2 days. We could be 2 hours. I just do not know. And the only thing I will say is that a very boring and scary process has probably had a bit of a boost in the last few hours just in relation to the stuff that's come out around the PSG element. So Jim's plan is to put the Manchester back in Manchester, Qatar in. Says so. Look, I said that on the tour in Dublin. What does that even mean? Putting the Manchester back into Manchester United. I mean, what's he going to do? Walk in July and invite in Casemiro Martinez and say, piss off, you're not born in Manchester. What does that even mean? Stadium ground, passport checks. Oh, sorry, you're from Dublin, Ireland, piss off. Oh, you've flown in from France, do one. What does putting the Manchester back into Manchester United mean? I just think it's a ridiculous thing. What you got to do, grow a Liam Gallagher haircut, put a pair of Adidas Gazelles on and walk a bit like that. You know, I don't listening to the Stone Roses. I don't know. What does that mean? Put the Manchester back into Manchester United? I don't know. I think it's a bloody dangerous... You know, what? I've got no idea. Boris Johnson will be riding a bus next thing we know. Mark, this sale process is taking me back to that Brexit debacle, never-ending and strangled process, says Darren. Mark, if the Glazers want to sell the club to Sir Jim, why haven't they done it yet, says Faisal. More confident about Qatar, it's the easier transaction and Sir Jim's bid could have many legal ramifications. I think it will be Qatar, says Jack. And it all seems like the Glazers are entertaining Jim's camp just to keep them close and keep emptying Qatar's pockets. Glazers are immoral traitors, says Mario Franco, which is why we need to remove them, which is why we need rid of them. And also, I think from a footballing point of view, let's just play out the scenario here. If the Glazers do stay and they do a deal with Sir Jim, what changes? I still think we'll be crap at transfers because I think they'll retain a lot of the Richard Arnolds, etc. I think our job will get harder because I think that there will be a backlash from Qatar and PSG, especially around transfer targets. So I don't think... And also, Sir Jim Radcliffe has run Nice really, really badly. So I actually can see United really struggling if they do a deal with Sir Jim and the Glazers, because there will be a backlash in the world of football, and Sir Jim's not been very successful at Nice. So, you know, from a footballing point of view, I don't think there's the magic wand that it's going to get better either. Do you think if we get bought, there'll be more chance of some players leaving who are reportedly refusing to leave, like Maguire, maybe paying out their contracts as Lee? Well, I think you'd hope that new ownership means a ruthlessness that hasn't been at the club for a while. Edgar, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. So Jim to pull out, one can only hope, says Desmond. And no one had a problem when Dubai took over City or when Saudi Arabia took over Newcastle. Because it's United, they're shitting themselves, says Ojas. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not massively bothered about that, to be honest. At the end of the day, I just want Manchester United to have one owner. I want the Glazers to go, and we need super wealth. That's something we've mentioned about a lot. And don't forget, 76% of you think Qatar are going to win, which is, you know, I hope you're right. I really do. Surprising it's that high, but I hope that's the case. But imagine the interest they've lost over 6 months on 5 billion, says Marcus. I mean, that's a great point, Marcus. That is a great point. I read it somewhere myself quite recently. The fact that the Glazers have taken 6 months to do this sale, every week they don't have that billion each earning interest is losing them money. Like, they're losing money by taking this amount of time. They're exposing themselves as amateurs. And remember, this is just the Silver Spoon Brigade. Their dad was the billionaire. You know, it's like me. I set the United stand up and I run the United stand. And then if I quit and I just got Seb to run it and he wasn't really that interested in football, it's not the United stand, is it? And I think this is the same thing that's happened with the Glazers. Their dad was the business guy. They've just inherited it. They're not good business people, and there's a prime example of it. You're going to sell this football club, and even if you're selling it to Sir Jim, the money you're getting could be earning interest. And every day you're not doing it, you're costing yourself money. It doesn't even make any sense. How are you going to recoup that money? Even if you're going to get a couple of 100 million each from Sir Jim, it's still interest on that over the last 3 months that you could have got. They expose themselves massively as incompetent every single day. I'm struggling to wrap my head around the Glazers being able to sell 100% while only owning 68%, says Tom. No, they can't. Basically, Qatar are going to buy 100% because they're going to buy the Glazers out, and then they're going to buy out the shareholders as well. What's your thoughts on... Oh yeah, Jack, I'm not stupid. And Radcliffe loves United so much, yet selling his best player to Liverpool, who will be fighting with United for top 4. Pathetic, says Dan. Yeah, thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that. Okay. Yeah, it was just a super chat trying to get me to say something silly from Jack, which obviously I'm way too intelligent for that. Seb would be better than you. Yeah, it probably would, actually. But my point is that the Glazers ain't no good business people. Yeah. I've got to read this one. Nick says, you are so badly informed, Mark. Stick to what you know. Yeah, I'm so badly informed, Nick. You don't even tell us what you know. And I've got 26,000 people watching on a Friday night. And it's sunny. So, you know what you can do, Nick? Swivel on it. These are just bitter people. Like, look, I've been doing this for years, Nick. I'm used to the jealous bastards. We're all used to the jealous bastards. Don't worry about that. This community we've built together that is very, very opinionated and can have grown-up conversations. We're absolutely fine doing it ourselves. We don't need jealous little twats like you coming in with you're not informed. We've literally just spent the last 45 minutes talking about how uninformed people are. We're not professing to be informed. We've basically covered every side of the square here. Like Sir Jim could still get the club. Qatar could still get the club. You know, we've even said nobody's got a bloody clue what the bids are. But Nick thinks he knows what he's on about. Swivel on it, Nick. Enjoy your weekends. You're probably a Sir Jim fan, aren't you? Because you know what, Nick? Most people who want Sir Jim, one thing I found really, really evident with people who want Sir Jim Radcliffe is they cannot give you one reason why. You say to them, I can read on your Twitter 6 months ago, full sale, Glazers out. Sir Jim's keeping the Glazers and it's not a full sale. Oh, well, yeah, he will get rid of them. Where's that written down? Where's that written down that the Glazers are going anywhere? Well, it's just very obvious. You're an idiot. You are putting your faith in somebody you've never met on a promise that could be complete bullshit. But we all know why you're doing it, because there's something about Sir Jim that you prefer over Qatar. And we all know what that is. I've got no problem with people who want Sir Jim Radcliffe, but very few of them can tell us why, other than I don't want to be state-owned. Which is fine. There's no problem with that. But a few weeks ago, you were saying full sale out and Glazers out. You know, which one is it? The fact that the City Group bought Palermo and own a club in La Liga, but we are a problem because of Qatar is a joke, says Greg. And Mark, I think Qatar's bid to lose, Glazers keep making them raise, but has Sir Jim raised his share purchase price? Even if he's valued the club more, the Glazers are clearly trying to raise Qatar, says Joshua. And does it mean Qatar is the preferred bidder? It doesn't. No, Anna, it doesn't. It doesn't mean anything. Hello, Mark. We need open heart surgery within Manchester United to get someone in who actually works on faster transfers, says Scott Stevens. Thank you very much for your super chat there, Scott. Look, on a serious note, it doesn't really matter whether you want Sir Jim, Qatar. Some people might even want the Elliott Group. But what you do need to do is put across an opinion that people can actually respect or understand. Cameron, welcome to Members Club, because as I said a few minutes ago, I don't see Qatar and I don't see Ineos. I don't see Al Thani and I don't see Sir Jim. I see Manchester United. I see Manchester City about to win a treble. I see Manchester United miles away. I've seen Manchester United miles away for 10 years. I see what's best for Manchester United. More of the Glazers and debt and 3 separate owners, or a full sale, no debt and a new future. I choose that. I choose that every time. If Sir Jim was behind it, I'd choose that. If Al Thani's behind it, I'd choose that. If Elon Musk's behind it, I choose that. Full sale, new start, no debt, clean page, let's have a go. I do not choose keep the Glazers, you only own half the club, 30% is owned by shareholders, the debt's still there. I don't choose that. I do not choose that because, you know, I'm no bloody genius, but if I'm offered clear the debt, new club, new owners, loads of money, or keep the debt, keep the Glazers, what looks like an absolute mess, of course I'm going to choose that. I choose that. Simple. Anyway, let me just, I'm going to give you these memberships, but while I'm setting it up, let me just tell you, we were live in Dublin on Tuesday night. It was a 2-hour show. The first hour has been put up onto our members section. So if you are a member, everyone with the badge, you'll be able to watch it. It's Friday night. It's a really good thing to watch on a Friday night, actually. Crack open a bottle of wine or a bottle of water or whatever it is. Give it a watch. The second part will be coming out next week, but the first hour is up. I'll play you a little bit of a clip of it while I'm sorting out the members, the gifted memberships.
But that 7-0, I just cannot comprehend it, right? Even when they beat us 7-0, they were never going to get in the Champions League. They were never going to win anything. They print bloody mugs off. I just can't believe it. This is literally like, I'm going to think of something here. This is literally like laughing at your neighbour because his wife's having an affair while your missus is doing a gangbang on YouTube at home. It just doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, that didn't work as quick as I was hoping. Bear with me. Bloody YouTube. It's never easy, is it? Anyway, I'm going to gift it anyway. So give it a watch. It's the first half up until the interval. I think it's about 45 minutes. You can check that out. Why is this not working? It did this last night, didn't it? Why the bloody hell am I not able to gift memberships here? Oh, that is so annoying. Oh, this is a fucking joke. It did this last night. It's my bloody channel. I should be able to gift memberships. Fucking stupid bastard. How stupid's that? Can't gift memberships on my own fucking channel. You're having a laugh. I can type. Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, I don't know a workaround for this because normally it says super chat, gift the membership. I've got nothing. All I can do is type. Let me see if that works. No, it just says chat publicly as United Stand. Slow mode is on. Oh, how's that going to help me? Right, I'm going to give it one more time here. No. What a crock of shit. Okay, well, look, I will gift though. I did some last night. I will do some tomorrow when it finally decides it wants to work again. I don't know why it won't let me do it. I'm a bloody member of... I own the fucking channel and I'm a member, so I should be able to gift memberships, but for some reason it won't do it at the moment. Or will it? Hold on a minute. Here we go. We've got it. We've got it. Oh, no. No. Now it's saying super chat, super sticker. Oh, kiss my arse. Kiss my arse. Fucking hell. First half of the Dublin show was absolutely brilliant. Thanks for sharing it in the members section, says Grant. Well, look, if you are a member, check it out. You can do that through the members section. And we've also had some... I'll tell you what, Peter's gifted 5 memberships. He's a legend. I will be giving some more memberships away tomorrow. I gave away some... Oh, no, I thought it was going to work then. Oh. I don't know what. Look, we'll be here all night. We'll be here all night. Next live show, it works. Hopefully tomorrow morning I will gift them. If you are a member, check it out on the memberships. It's worked for Mojo. He's just gifted 20 as well. Thank you for that, Mojo. So at least 20 were given out. Jake Hansen, thank you. You're a legend, Mojo. Check it out on the members section. United Stand first half in Dublin. I think you'll really enjoy it. A few people have gifted some memberships as well. Join it if you want to watch it, if you didn't get gifted one. I'll speak to you all later, but do go and give it a watch. Really want to see your feedback in the